had a weird dream where I knew exactly what was the enemy. And it was a gang stalker or a person who was narcissistic. And all they were trying to do is to do things in order to have me have a negative thought. The thoughts themselves were the enemy. Now, I have been doing an active intent of not having any negative thought about myself. For example, that I had no money. Like, I don't even want to say it now. But I had a crazy experience yesterday. We're doing this, stopping myself from saying a negative thought. When I stopped myself from saying that I had no money, literally put money in my pocket. Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Anonymous, and in this channel we'll talk about gang stalking, manipulation, and the mind. So, if you're new to the channel, I have been getting gang stalked for 6-7 years. I don't know anymore. My gang stalking experience was only about putting negative thoughts in my mind, like a lot of negative thoughts. And I'm not gonna lie to you, my life was shit. It was complete shit. So then I realized, well, if my mind was against me and all I had was negative thoughts, a bunch of them, all the time, what will happen if I actively do the opposite? So for the past 5 weeks, I have been training to have no negative thoughts. And the most uncanny things have happened. So yesterday I was at work, I had like $2. And and it's like it felt like my mouth wanted to say, I'm broke. My mouth wanted to say that. So before that thought came out of my mouth, I thought to myself, don't say that, don't say it. And right before we were about to close the store, a woman needed her battery changed. So I was like, well, we can't, because we're not allowed to change the batteries when it's dark. The battery change was actually going to be really simple, but I really was following the instructions, the company policy. However, she said, I'm going to give you $100 right now. And well, that was enough to convince me. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening. It's like, am I really getting this opportunity to get $100? And I was like, no, she must be lying or something. She's gonna drive away once I'm done changing the battery, I thought to myself. But I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna do it anyways because it's simple. So then the battery change was so simple that I felt like, oh man, it doesn't feel like it's $100 of work. I feel like I am shortchanging her. So then she was saying, the battery is for my mom because I don't want my mom to put to put miles in my car. So she was nice. So then I was like, I was in a little disbelief of what was happening. So then when I was changing her battery, I accepted. However, when I was changing her battery, her positive terminal just fell apart. So I was like, I'm gonna have to change the positive terminal, and we didn't have one. So I did a little bit of looking around at the parts. Thankfully, I know where exactly those types of battery terminals are at. I grabbed one, I changed it, and it wasn't the right thread for the battery cable. So I went in and I grabbed another one, and this one was. I took the nut of the old terminal, and then I compared it to the new terminal. The terminal was like $20. So I went out of the store again, and I put this one on, and it was $20. And yeah, she was like, yeah, do whatever you can, but leave my car good. So now with that change, with that extra effort that I put in order for her to have a good battery, then I felt that it was worth the $100. So she gave me 140. So I was like, okay, so now I'm gonna go inside the store. She left. She drove away. She gave me $140. So I went into the store, and then I bought the part that I bought for her practically, and using my discount. I didn't want to use it, but my coworker just plugged it in, and it was $10. So I was like, well, I ended up getting $130, and I felt, because the change and the work, I felt justified. So I was like, I honestly was like, okay, I felt justified. I didn't feel like I was shortchanging her anymore, which was uncanny, because there were absolutely no feelings or thoughts of me shortchanging her. That the job, that I didn't feel like I was getting free money. I felt that I earned the $130. And that's the thing with things like this, is that was the most uncanny part, that it felt completely justified. You know, it felt square. It felt like square, like it was like she got exactly what she paid for, and you know, and I made sure that the battery was not gonna go out anywhere. Like, she paid what she got, what she paid for, even though she could have gotten like another she could have like a battery hold down, because the battery was just there, but it was for her mom, and you know, I'm sure she doesn't like redline her car. Anyways, yeah, it was uncanny. So that had never ever happened to me, and the fact that I literally was like, do not say that you have no money in any way, shape, or form, and I stopped myself from saying it. And now I'm gonna stop from completely having the thoughts that say that. Like, I feel now, I don't even feel good saying it. Well, something strange is happening by changing all the thoughts in my mind. And in my dream, a gang stalker, he was, what he was doing, he was the enemy. And he was trying to make me have a negative thought. Like to say, I don't know, that I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, whatever, but that was a negative. Like, his intent was having me produce a negative thought, because my entire gang stalking operation was having my mind against me, was literally all about me having a negative thought, a thought of something that was against me. However, and you know, all the books about metaphysics, it says that, you know, the enemy is the negative thought. Now, I must also tell you that when I was going through gang stalking was real. It was real to me, as real as it can get. I felt like I was in the Matrix. Like, and you know, the thoughts were trying to connect me right back. And I was like, there was a point where I said, I have to make a decision. I have to make a decision. So the last battle in my gang stalking, I won it. I was able to find a way to stay out. And that was by replacing all the negative thoughts with thoughts that had no meaning. And it worked. The voices now had nothing to communicate with me. They couldn't communicate with me in English, because so I began thinking in English, and that kept the voices away. I began thinking in another language, and that way the voices were not able to communicate with me. because the voices only spoke Spanish. So by me doing that, I just stopped myself from accepting any voice in any other language other than English. And that did the job. And that did the job. Now, let's see. I'm sorry, this is weird. Anyways, so give me 1 second. I'm trying to put my thoughts together. Oh, so but now, for some reason, the voices are coming back, and they're literally telling me I can speak any other language. But that's really weird. However, I have found a way to stay clear of the voices. Like that's something that I have to tell you, but it's almost like a balancing act of your thoughts. Now, having the negative thought is the enemy. And that's the fact that gang stalking was real, because I was having negative thoughts that kept pushing the narrative. Like now the thought that, oh yeah, I can now speak any other language. Like I had to make a decision. I have to say I'm either having a psychosis or the Matrix does exist, or gang stalking exists. And I said, that voice, and I told myself, that voice is only a voice in my head and it's not real. And then I used my new acquired skill of stopping the voice. And everything stopped. Everything stopped. I had won the war against my mind, the war for my mind. And well, I had won it, and it felt amazing. That was fucking weird. Anyways, I had won the war for my mind. And how do you say? And the fact that my mind was against me and it was producing negative thoughts. If I only allow my mind to produce positive thoughts, will my life become perfect? The thing with gang stalking is that you never know the truth. If I imagined it, or if it was actually happening, because the gang stalking was as real as reality gets. Now that these things that the universe is beginning to conspire in my favor, I'm never gonna know if my reality is changing or if I am just making the connections. It's like the opposite. It's like gang stalking, but for my benefit. I can't wait to see what else happens. I'm super excited. Anyways, I have to go. Bye, guys.